The woods of northern Arizona are a place of untamed beauty, filled with ancient pines that seems to stretch endlessly into the sky. But as any local will tell you, those same trees hide a far more sinister side, a darkness that even the most hardened hikers won't venture into after sunset. Tyler had heard the stories growing up, tales of strange creatures lurking in the woods, the kind of stuff that kept kids up at night, staring at the ceiling, afraid of every creak and rustle. But as he got older, those scary stories became just that, stories. His family owned a cabin deep into the woods, and for him, the forest was a place of peace, not fear. That changed one crisp autumn night. Tyler had invited his girlfriend, Lisa, and their friends, Mike and Rachel, up to the cabin for a weekend getaway. It was a break from the chaos of city life, a chance to uplook and enjoy the silence that only the wilderness could offer. They spent the day hiking, laughing, and grilling by the lake, watching the sunset paint the sky in fairy hues. As the last silver of daylight disappeared behind the trees, Tyler suggested a night walk, something to enjoy the cool evening air before turning in. I don't know, man. You sure that's a good idea? Mike asked, eyeing the darkened woods with unease. Come on, it's just a walk. We'll stay close to the cabin, Tyler replied, laughing off Mike's hesitation. The four of them set off, flashlight in hand, their voices cutting through the stillness of the night. The air was crisp and smelled faintly of pine and damp earth. The woods seemed peaceful at first, but the deeper they walked, the quieter everything became. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Do you hear that? Lisa asked, stopping abruptly. Everyone went still, listening. Nothing, not a single sound. No wind rustling the leaves. No distant chirping of crickets. Just silence. It's too quiet, Rachel muttered, her voice barely above a whisper. Where did all the sounds go? Tyler tried to shake off the growing uneasy creeping up his spine. Maybe we should head back, he suggested, trying to keep his voice light. But as they turned around, something shifted in the darkness. A shadow moving between the trees, just out of the corner of Taylor's eye. He whipped his head around, shining his flashlight in the direction of the movement. Nothing. What is that? Lisa asked, her voice tense. I thought I saw something, Tyler said, though he wasn't entirely sure. Probably just a deer. But his heart was pounding harder now, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. They quickened their pace, their flashlight darting nervously across the trees. Every step felt heavier, the oppressive silence weighing down on them. Then a low, guttural growl echoed through the tree. It was deep, unnatural, like the rumbling of something far bigger than any animal Tyler had ever heard. Lisa grabbed his arm, her nails digging into the skin. What the hell was it? Mike asked, his voice shaking. I don't know, but we need to move, Tyler said, panic rising in his throat. They started running, the beam of their flashlight bouncing wildly as they sprinted through the woods. The growling grew louder, closer, and Tyler could hear something crashing through the underbrush behind them. Whatever it was fast, too fast. Tyler glanced over his shoulder, and his blood ran cold. A figure was moving through the trees, just at the edge of his vision. It was humanoid, but wrong. Its limbs were too long, too thin, and it moves with a disturbing fluidity, like a predator stalking its prey. "Go! Go!" Tyler shouted, pushing Lisa ahead of him. They could see the cabin's lights now, just through the trees, but the thing was closing in. Tyler could hear its heavy, uneven breathing, could almost feel the heat of it on the back of his neck. They burst out of the tree line, practically falling over each other as they scrambled up the porch step and slammed the door behind them. Tyler looked, his hands shaking, and backed away, his heart racing so hard he thought it might burst from his chest. For a moment, everything was silent again. They stood there, breathless, staring at the door as if it might burst open at any second. Then came the scratching. It started softly, almost a tap 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 tap, like fingernails on the wood. But it grew louder, more insistent, as if something was trying to claw its way inside. Tyler looked out the window, but all he could see was darkness. No movement, no shadow, just the endless black the forest beyond. "It is gone?" Lisa whispered, her voice trembling. Tyler shook his head. "I don't think so." Suddenly, the crunching stopped. The silence that followed was worse. It was a kind of silence that made your skin crawl, the kind that made you want to scream just to break it. Then, from the other side of the door, came a voice. "Tyler, let me in." It was Lisa's voice, but Lisa was standing right beside him.